Florentino Perez is killing Real Madrid. Hello, this is Dr.Natrell. What brings you in today? What's up, guys? Today we'll be going over Real Madrid's summer transfer window and why I personally believe they will once again go trophyless for a third straight season. Before we get into the video, I would like to remind you to like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm. With all that being said, let's get straight into it. Going into this summer transfer window, Real Madrid had three major issues they had to fix this offseason. They needed a midfielder who could control and manage a midfield, a striker, and some center back stability. Spoiler alert, they failed. Went 0-3 in what they were supposed to do. Real Madrid was extremely busy this summer, however, with the signings of Denzel Dumfries, Cucurella, Konate, Bernardo Silva, Carlos Espy, and the worst signing in recent Madrid history, in my personal opinion, is Yan Diomande for a total of around, we'll say, 225 million euros. To add on to that, they gave Vinny a new deal until 2026. In that process, they made over $200 million on sales with the names like Nico Paz and Gonzalo Garcia, which in retrospect are all decent moves for multiple reasons. Getting Dumfries will be excellent for our right back rotation. As you know, Trent is very inconsistent on defense, not to mention he's also been heavily injured in his tenure with the club. Last season, he missed a total of 22 games due to different injuries, so adding an elite backup in Dumfries will help massively. Dumfries is a good defender with great attacking upside. For Inter, he was pivotal in picking apart Barcelona in the Champions League. Now, to be fair, he wasn't amazing last year. He had an average rating of 6.9, but for a backup, it'll suffice for what Real Madrid needs next season. The same thing can be said about Cucurella. His defensive ability and offensive ability will instantly make him a perfect player for Real Madrid this season. He had a subpar average rating of 6.8 for Chelsea, which is alarming, but for Spain, is where he shined with a rating of a 7.48. His constant pressure on the ball, his capabilities to start build-up are all elite, to say the least. Paredes was too disappointing last season, so seeing Cucurella becoming our new starting left back is fantastic. Now, to save you all some time, I'm going to bunch these next signings together as they aren't as special in my eyes. That being Konate, Bernardo Silva, Carlos Espy, and Yan Diomande. Konate is a cool defender, but has been lackluster this past season. Silva is old and not up to par anymore, and I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of Carlos Espy. Won't pretend like I know this kid's game. And Yan costs around $140 million, even though we have absolutely no idea how good he is. The idea of paying that much money for a kid who was okay at Leipzig and decent for Ivory Coast will never make sense to me. It's one of the worst Madrid signings ever because of the context of how much he cost in comparison to players and positions that we actually needed. Dio only managed to get 12 goals and 8 assists in the Bundesliga of all places. I've seen nothing from anyone nor anything from the player himself as to why I should be excited for the signing, other than him being fast and maybe he has great dribbles. But especially at his price tag, I just can't get around to liking this signing for Real Madrid. Madrid just recently signed Vinny to a new 6-year deal, which could backfire, especially since we've seen the Mbappe and Vinny experience for 2 years already, and it's been terrible. Those two being on the pitch at the same time absolutely kills any hopes of pressing. They both do not like to track back and help defend. Mbappe never wants to be in the box. They both will end up on a left wing at some time, which is infuriating to see. And Vinny coming back is a massive issue. Not because of Vinny, but because of how Perez has built this joke of a roster, which leads me to my next thing, which is the problem with this summer and why Madrid has failed significantly this transfer window. Once again, Perez is killing Real Madrid. Real Madrid, before the summer transfer window opened, knew evidently that they had a massive midfield issue, an attacking issue, and a defensive issue. We arguably didn't do anything to fix these issues. Defensively, Cuckoo and Dumfries, great signings, admittedly great. Did they forget that we need center backs as well? I'm not the biggest fan of Konate. Wait, did I mention that we signed washed old-ass Rudiger back? Perez tried to sign Nico Schlotterbeck. That blew up in our face. He had a release clause for about $50 million, and Perez didn't want to pay for it. We apparently tried to sign Bastoni. That may as well have been smoke and mirrors, though. Inter were willing to sell for around $70 million, and once again, Perez didn't do it. So for $120 million, we could have fixed our defensive issue along with Cucurella and Dumfries, but we needed the 15th winger on this team. So to catch you all up to speed, we have a 33-year-old Rudiger, Konate, Eder Militao, who can't walk in his own house without assistance, and Dean Housen. Awesome. So we went this summer without improving our center back rotation, which, hey, maybe that means we improved in our other departments, right? We needed a striker because we had 3 left wingers up top, especially 2 that can't rotate as France nor PSG can, and that being Vinny and now Diomande. We sell our promising young striker who had great flashes. If I'm not mistaken, he had 12 goals and like 4 assists, I believe, that being Gonzalo Garcia, to buy another striker who wasn't ever going to touch the field for us. To be clear. This is the main reason I didn't want Vinny to stay, because having Mbappe on the left and using the Vinny money to buy a master striker would have been perfect, as I believe Mbappe is the better player. Again, we saw that this last 2 years and in the World Cup. Those two together cannot work, nor will ever work together because of their flaws. Get rid of one of them and buy a striker and stop pleasing players and start trying to win games. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. That's fine, because we definitely addressed the biggest problem Madrid has had since the departure of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, right? Hell no. For close to a year, Rodri has been shaking ass to join Real Madrid. Before the World Cup and after the World Cup, he has been begging to join Real Madrid. Recently, Madrid met with Man City and reportedly offered around $50 million for him. Keep that number in mind, $50 million. Again, 50 million. Man City stalled and is more likely looking for 70 to 80 million for Rodri, which is fair because they don't want to lose their player for cheap, especially when they know Real Madrid is very desperate. This news broke last week, which is certainly damning, but what's even more damning is what just dropped. Barcelona are now advancing talks to sign Rodri per Fabrizio Romano himself. As of this recording, Rodri hasn't signed to Barcelona just yet, but this will kill Real Madrid for the entire next season. Rodri is the exact prototype Madrid needs to reach their Galacticos moniker once again. Inserting him into this mess of a midfield like Madrid's will instantly fix the midfield issues, his defensive ability, along with his excellent passes and creation, but most importantly, he can control the entire midfield. He tracks backs to defend, he table sets for attackers, and can hold possession all damn day. Rodri, alongside the likes of Bellingham, Valverde, even Tchouaméni, is a nightmare for any team to face. A four-man midfield with Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Rodri behind a false nine in Bellingham is a dream come true to any Real Madrid fan. Instead, Barcelona will reap the benefits of having Rodri in their midfield. Mind you, they already have a possession-holding midfielder in Pedri. So even if this is all a facade and he does come to Real Madrid later in the weeks or whatever before the transfer window, Barcelona are losing nothing as they still have Pedri in an elite midfield. Whereas if he signs for Barcelona and Madrid is back to having the same midfield with no Rodri-like profile, But why did we think we were ever getting Rodri? Perez said a year ago that he didn't want Rodri to come here. The only reason he even entertained trying is because of the presidential election. He never tried to get Rodri. It was evident since the start. The most important part of this project, and you wait until the end of the window, the man has been screaming to join Real Madrid for a year, and you signed 6 players before him? In my opinion, Perez has absolutely shown his ass this time. He has completely destroyed this roster over the past 3 years in the hopes of Real Madrid winning any trophies ever since he signed Mbappe. Now, Mbappe is our best player and the best player in the world. I agree with that. I personally believe that as well. Perez buying another winger when the team needed a striker, not to mention that year Vinny just came off of a Ballon d'Or level year and he slots in a player that plays the same position as Vinny. It doesn't make sense. He hasn't addressed the midfield issue, which has been evident for several years at this point. The only thing our midfielders are producing out there is carbon dioxide, let alone chances. The defense is getting older and worse every season. So let's put a little bow on it and let's end this video. This transfer window was another massive letdown, and Madrid fixed damn near none of the issues it had. Didn't fix their offensive problems, arguably made it worse. They didn't even attempt to fix their biggest issue in that sorry-ass midfield, and to top it all off, they signed fullbacks instead of competent center backs. Perez has turned Real Madrid into a laughingstock, and this Rodri fiasco should be the last straw in the stack for fans. And to all my Madrid fans out there,
It's gonna be bad, my nigga.
be prepared to be disappointed this season as Madrid once again gets second place in La Liga while crashing out and burning in the Champions League and not winning trophies for the 3rd season in a row. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to say thank you for watching this. Hope you enjoyed. If so, please like and subscribe and let me know what you'd like to see next. With that being said, man, stay blessed. Make sure you love God more than you love sports or whatever it is that you love these days. And with that being said, it's been Dr. Natrell, and you can schedule your next appointment at the front desk.